Hi everyone, this is Kenzie. Yay, another damn Gundam game. If I sound happy about that, it's because I am, you cute bitch. Overwatch is a game we've all probably played before. I also played it when it was called TF2 Paladins and Battleborn. But now we have a game that is relevant to my dwindling audience, and for that I'm grateful, Namco. Thanks. In all seriousness though, I meant every word I said. I was genuinely excited to play it, and I'm gonna detail my experience from start to finish after about an hour or two of playing it. These are pure first impressions, and the game was played on a PS4 Pro. I will not be mentioning technical issues that much since I won't be playing it on PS4 when the full game comes out, so there's no real reason for me to focus on them too hard. It's old hardware, we been knew that there would be issues. And very important, I'm just gonna be talking my shit to those that wanna smell it. Don't get your feelings hurt, it's never personal, babe. Alright, let's get it. The game's intro is long as hell. It's not a problem, it's just the first thing I caught wind of because they do that thing that League of Legends does, where they showcase the abilities of the different characters and all the situations are completely unrealistic. Like when they show off Zaku 2, Barbatos allows him to live longer than 2 seconds, and when they show off Barbatos, he slaughters an entire team by himself. But to be fair, that'll actually happen. Mostly every gameplay example is them hopping in the middle of shootouts and straight crushing everyone's holes. It makes it look really good though, and honestly the game heavily benefits from this showcase. Right after that, it brought me straight into a tutorial exactly like Overwatch does. I won't try to compare them too much even though they are born of the same freak seed, but these are two totally different games at the end of the day, and we shouldn't forget that.
Corporate needs you to find the differences between this picture and this picture. They're the same picture.
How does it feel though? Honestly, fucking extraordinary. Seriously, the movement is great, and this was scaring me because I genuinely thought it would feel like donkey piss, but like, it doesn't. Gundam Battle Operation 2 is a big reason why I was apprehensive about this game's movement, because I typically don't care for heavy Gundam games. If you're new here and itching to tell me that I'm wrong, please go to the video I made about Battle Operation 2 and bitch about it there. I haven't thought about that game since I pressed upload. This game though, I like it so far. I had 2 gripes with the game though, and spoiler alert, I never got used to them. R1 and L1. L1 would be sprint in other games, but in this game it's thrusters because of course it is. The thrusters are a movement that gets faster over time of using it, so it's more efficient to use your burst movement in the middle of fights, which does feel better a lot of the time, and using your extended running to get to the fight. What I couldn't get used to was its button placement, because I genuinely can't fathom my run being on L1 instead of the left stick. And I'm sure there are others that can't get it either. It just don't feel right. R1 being jump is weird as hell too. Obviously there are people that got used to this no problem, they kicked my ass, but even after I remapped it to a more conventional control scheme, putting jump on X and sprint on L3, this shit just wasn't clicking, so I just went back to normal. Nitpicking aside, actual movement feels good no matter what the buttons are, and the mobility you have across the board on any unit is awesome to have in a historically snail-paced series. Combat is also pretty damn good. Me personally, I like a lower TTK. That means time to kill for those that don't know. If you ever played One in the Chamber from Call of Duty Black Ops, then yes, I like it that short, like premature ejaculation short. But it is a team-based shooter, and it's also Overwatch, so I get why it's higher than usual. Overall, tutorial was great, and it helped me get into the controls. Now to look at the units, since this is the part I was really worried about. Now, I'm not the hugest Gundam fan out there, but the roster to me was kinda weird. You can play a Gem and a gun tank alongside Barbatos and Turn A. If you've been watching me for a hot minute, you know that I ain't touching these basic bitches with a 10-inch penis. We're rocking with Turn A for the first match because fucking duh. And trust me, Turn A just being here in general was enough for me to one-trick them, but like my mother probably said during childbirth, I don't think this is what I wanted. So Turn A has a low fire rate weapon that can be charged when aiming down the sights. This made me think that they were meant to be played as some kind of mid-range to long-range poker, but then I read the abilities and I'm like, oh, so this is a close-range skirmisher with a long-range weapon? Can't say I vibe with that nonsense. honey. I genuinely have no idea what to think of Turn A's playstyle, and my weakness in life is being confronted with things that I don't understand, so I'll chalk this one up to not for me, babe. Sucks too, because I was fully prepared to become a Turn A Gundam Evo one-trick channel, but I guess I'll have to stick to my other hyperfixations, like the 3 videos I was working on before I landed on this. The next unit that I tried was Gem Sniper 2. You can't hear this, but I was screaming at the top of my lungs during character select about how I wanted him to have abilities that I couldn't use at long range like Turn A. Unfortunately, GM Sniper made a little too much sense. He throws down a pad that allows him to jump on it for extra height, which is awesome because Widowmaker also has ways to get to high ground, and anything that reminds me of Widowmaker is nothing short of a masterpiece. Overall, he aight, but in general, if I'm playing a sniper, it ain't gonna be on a controller. My thumbs are only opposable because they oppose me. Not for me, babe. Skip it up and that up. Next unit was Granddaddy, and he is the mobile suit of all time. He shields, he shoots, and he exists. Can't take that away from Amuro. He's been through enough. But when it comes to playing him in this game, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but it's gonna be a hard-earned not for me, babe. Eventually, after I queued for another match due to sunk cost fallacy, I went Mobile 76 because this was the closest I was gonna get to being able to contribute to the team, as if I cared in the first place. Long story short, Pale Rider is fun enough since he plays like the all-rounder that everyone can pick up and play, but as was written in the sacred texts by our Lord above, Barbatos goes swingy swing to my cranium. Not Pale Rider's fault, but not for me, babe. With a little asterisk that says if there's actual humans on the enemy team. Zaku 2 next, because God forbid I don't LARP as the superior faction, and also not disappoint you further. Zeon did nothing wrong except allow me to control its suit in this damn game. He can go invisible, which is kind of interesting, but honestly, if I wanted to truly feel invisible, I would just get back on Tinder. Plus, Rocket Launcher Boy was right there, so not for me. Holy shit, there's a lot of those. Dom Trooper, oh, step on me, daddy. The unit I wanted to play like Soldier from TF2, except he's a support class, I guess. He can heal and provide fire from long distances. Yay, do I have to give a shit about my team again? I'm sure as this game ages, it will be people screaming, need healing, whenever somebody locks Dom, but right now it seems like there's no real need for a healer if you have Barbatos that's even remotely competent. Trust me, I ain't shit in this game and never will be, but even I can see how this game is the Wild West right now. So Dom Trooper isn't bad, but until people demand support classes and tell me that I should have been Dom, bitch, not for me, babe. I went ass him R, and God, I could care less. Also, why does it feel like Barbatos can just cleave through my entire Wi-Fi sig? You know what? If you can't beat him upside the head. Once I saw these Doomfist ass icons, I realized exactly why Barbie could fuck me like a Malibu Ken doll. This thing is fucking insane to fight against and even more powerful in the right hands. Too bad I only have left ones, but you get what I'm saying. He can high jump and then come down like a fucking dragoon. And since the mobility in this game is really damn good across the board, it doesn't take long to run the fuck away from a fight that you started and came back to finish the job since your cooldowns are so low. I understand that he's melee, and balancing a melee character in a game full of guns is necessary for health of the character, but come on, if I was getting kills, like multiples of them, then there's a problem. Barbatos is really good and easy to just throw your hitboxes around with. Needless to say, I had fun with him and you will too, but since he is melee, you might want to bump that sensitivity up because playing him is kind of unrefined, at least on controller, but that's how it is anyway. Barbatos got a dub for me. I like him. He's for me. Those were all of the units I played, and overall the game is fine. It is just a big heaping pile of not for me, babe. And that's not the game's fault, but I'm just jaded and can't enjoy anything if Dokkaebi isn't in it. I'm sorry. I had fun though, and you will too when the game comes out. It doesn't even play bad on console either. My connection was fine, and that's all you can hope for in a network test. Hopefully they add more units to play with like Cubile, and that's how I feel about Gundam Watch. If you're new here, subscribe, because my videos will only get better if you like this one. Hit the bell to get notified, join the Discord, and most importantly, stay cute, you lovely plagiarists.